I think it's I was fortunate enough to meet one of the people working in the atelier yesterday, and I know the teams involved, the dedication, the artistry. You can never watch these shows without knowing the hours and hours and hours of work that has gone into. I hope couture lasts forever because it requires a level of skill that nothing else does, I think.
January's Summer 2022 Couture Fashion Week showcased the latest offerings from 17 labels, just over half the number included in the official calendar thanks to ongoing COVID restrictions. But the shows that did take place were magnificent. At Dior, giant embroidery took centre stage, beautifully complemented by the decor.
The starting point was for this collection was to celebrate the embroidery, because sometimes we have this idea that embroidery is only something that an embellishment, that is something show off, that is something also expensive. But in reality, embroidery means to speak about cultural element, also identity, because some elements are part of tradition that very often was a familiar company that the mother or the father passed to the brother or the sister, so the daughter, sorry. So I think that we have to understand this value and the knowledge that there is behind embroidery. I think that the crisis of COVID can be a disaster around the world and possible to lose this capacity if there is no brand couture that support them.
Another designer famous for his love of artistic continuity is Paul Gaultier. Ever since his official retirement, he's invited a rotating cast of designers to take the reins of his brand. Following on from the Japanese Chitose Abe, it's now the turn of Belgian stylist Glenn Martens.
I love this collection. I think it's very me. It's sort of an extension of me. I feel like I had a facelift. Everything's up. It's good. It's very, very good. He's taken all my codes and he's done a great job with them. Going in the same direction I was going in, but actually in the end going a lot further than I did. But I didn't think he'd managed to go as far as he has, because he really has gone a lot further. What he's done is truly couture. It's a beautiful way of doing couture. I'm impressed and I'm happy with absolutely everything, even the way he's handled the fabric. He's taken the fabrics I love and he's done his own thing with them. He's used my lacing, but he's really gone for it. Whereas I only dared to have lacing on the back, either completely or just on the bottom, he puts lacing on the front, the back, the arms, the train. It was just so... What I mean is that it was all about exaggeration while remaining beautiful. It was magnificent, poetic, really beautiful, well executed, very, very good. I'm completely delighted.
The past few months haven't been easy for designers as they grappled with a worldwide shortage of raw materials, not to mention the disruption caused when their artisans and models fall ill with COVID. Nonetheless, designer Alexandre Vauthier has managed to remain optimistic.
We need to tell people that things are changing for the better. You need to find ways to keep people motivated. I think we need to face the coming months with real optimism, believing and hoping that things are moving towards social connection, towards beauty, towards femininity. For me, couture is an amazingly enduring way of passing on that message. I almost wanted to deliver a punch or a slap, something to wake everyone up. I was so happy to see the girls so excited and happy backstage, just like we were before COVID.
Après une période dure, il y a toujours une explosion d'énergie et une envie de libération.
After any difficult period, there's always an explosion of energy, a desire for freedom. Just look back at the Roaring Twenties. People were having a wild time after the war. In Paris, London, Berlin, it was a non-stop party. And that's why I took inspiration in the 20s, which were also a moment when people were dealing with some real trauma. I didn't want the same silhouettes as usual, so what had I never tried before? Technically speaking, I'd never cut on the bias. So this time, I did. I went for really flowing and elegant shapes with lots of movement. That's what I worked on. I called on embroiderers, feather experts, fabric suppliers. I even have embroidered shoes which arrived just 10 minutes before the start of the show. It was complete madness. But it's also a chance to learn about yourself. The bigger the challenge, the more you learn about your strength, about how to move forward. When you're working with 180 suppliers, when you've got teams working around the clock and you're at the center of it all, you need to be really flexible. It's interesting. I never thought I'd be an acrobat, but in the end, you have to laugh about it.
Alexandre Vauthier proving once again that, in the world of couture, he who dares wins.